right down from your belly. So get in here, you half a queer. It's time for Calta and Kelly. That's for you.
Hello, everybody. What is that? Your background noise, Spanish? What, you guys got a fan going on back there?
No, we don't have anything going on in the office. It's just being Pat.
Oh my God! Hi, everybody. My name is Mike Calta. Bobby Kelly. I'll be honest with you. I think Bobby had a gig tonight, but I don't really know. I didn't even ask him. He just said he couldn't be here, and I said that's fine. So with me are the guys from my morning show. This is Galvin. This is Spanish, and this is Joseph Hotmail DeSanto, better known to people as Pap because he is as old as most of our grandfathers. You look. Now I can't hear anything. Did you mute us?
No, it should be.
I don't think they're talking.
I'm talking.
Say something.
I'm talking.
Say something, Joe. There you go. All right.
Hello.
You look extra Jesus-y tonight.
Drink my drink.
I'm sorry. I drank your drink. I apologize. Sorry.
Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. We are also live on YouTube, youtube.com/Calta and Kelly, where we've got a crapload, a year's worth of interviews up there live that you can go and watch for free and do all that stuff. And I've never. Is there another computer in your room, Spanish? Like, can you get on that computer and
I'm
go to
working
you?
on it right now, Michael.
What are you working? I don't even know what I'm gonna say.
God.
Christ! Now you people know why I have heart problems and anger issues. And is that a picture of Elvis with Joe's face on it in the background?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'll get on a different computer, or
I'm doing it right now. You want something done, you have to do it yourself. I'm doing it right now.
What are you looking up?
Yes, Jennifer Garcia. It's not the same without Bobby. Cunt. It's a good thing about not being on the radio. You can call people cunts.
Oh. Yeah,
leave. I don't give a fuck. There'll be a crap ton of new people watching tonight as well. So there you go. I saw the big news this afternoon, but I don't know all the details that John McAfee is dead and he died of an apparent in-jail suicide.
Yeah.
Which is, yeah, he got Epsteined, which is most likely means he was murdered. Now, what was it? Did you watch the documentary about him?
Gringo, crazy gringo, whatever it was.
Yeah. So he was hiding out somewhere. He was living somewhere.
I think he was in the Dominican Republic, but I'm not sure.
And he hired security down there, and somebody got killed, and they said that he did it, and he said he didn't do it, and then he fled, and he'd been hiding all this time, and then they got him and they locked him up, and they were supposed to extradite him here, and then he died and he killed himself after all this time. Which that's the only thing that makes me think that maybe he did, is because he probably just got. He probably got bored after a while. He was like, fuck it. It's worse being rich and being stuck in prison,
That's right. Yeah.
I know he said that if he ever hung himself, it means he got whacked, but who's to say? Also, he's the kind of guy that knows that would create chaos if he did hang himself, because then all the conspiracy people would be like, oh, he didn't do it. He didn't do it. Speaking of crazy conspiracy guys, did you see what's his name? The guy who had that Alex Jones.
Oh,
Did you see him on with Schultz?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why was he sitting there shirtless?
And he was cutting like wrestling promos and stuff. And yeah, he's out of his mind.
Holy crap. Yeah, I don't know what his deal is, but basically that's what he does. He does a wrestling show.
Right.
He's there just to go be over the top and go crazy, and that's what gets him the attention.
Have you heard him on Joe Rogan, though? Because on Joe Rogan, Joe always stops him when he goes into his crazy conspiracies, and he's right a surprising amount of the time.
Yeah, his stuff is based in fact, but it's about how he presents it and how he makes it, sound like it's, he could take something that is normal and turn it into something that sounds insane, once you let it process, because he doesn't give you all the facts, or he leaves a couple of things out, or I don't know. I don't dislike him. I admire anybody that's built that kind of audience from nothing. It's just those things usually wear out after a little while when
also
there's
a lot of credibility when you start chasing people on the streets.
Yeah. You're right next to him. You're right next to him. You're feeding back. He's our video guy.
Right.
He's our fucking video guy.
Video is. Look at how bad it looks. Like he's on an old tube television.
What are you? There's a giant Mac right behind you. No, I can't hear you. Well, I don't. Do me a favor. Just if you hit him with a hammer right now, you'd put us all out of our misery.
I'm gonna go in a different room and put my headphones on.
I haven't listened to him on Kill Tony. In fact, I've never listened to Kill Tony. I don't know what, Galvin, you listen to way more podcasts than I do. I don't. You listen to some of them, right? Like I've never listened ever to a whole Joe Rogan podcast. The only time I ever listen to it is when you say, "Hey, did you see this?" And I'll look at something like when you told me David Lee Roth was on, or when somebody said they talked about me, or when Bert's on. Those are the only times I've ever really watched it.
I listen to it. Like to and from work a lot of times when he has somebody interesting on that I find interesting. He has a lot of different people on, but there was some good ones, some standouts. I told you that Undertaker was on there. That was pretty interesting. And I'm not even really a wrestling fan, but it was very interesting. A lot of the stuff that he went through and that. But yeah, I've seen little bits of Alex Jones just on like video clips. I would not sit through a whole. I don't think I could sit through a whole one.
Oh, not at all. I would love to still do. I don't like wrestling anymore, and you know how much I was into it and how I would use my kid as an excuse to watch it and all that stuff. But I still now would like the opportunity to do a show where I interview wrestlers, like old school wrestlers,
right?
And do like one-on-one real shoot style interviews with them, because I think they live really interesting lives, and there are things that I'd like to talk about that they probably couldn't talk about before. And how much the business changed and how much lives change and that whole deal. But I don't know. I think some of those guys, it's like a mafia. Once they're in, they're in. And then when they leave, they don't really like to talk about all the secrets because, dude, you know who's got the most skeletons is the fucking Rock. I don't know when all that shit's going to drop, but the Rock fucked his way through the WWE and nobody ever talks about it. I mean, he was married and then he got divorced. So, but the fact that nobody ever talks about all the chicks and all the things that he's done. So,
I can relate. Fucking my way to the top.
Listen to me. Just kill Joe. Just kill him. Hit him with a blunt object right now. He's echoing because you're sitting right next to him. Now we can't hear him because he's muted something. This is the worst. This is like having Keith Robinson on every day.
I'm sorry, Michael. I don't know why he's the worst.
Did you need those two?
Yeah.
By the way, for those of you who don't know, that is Spanish and Joe, Pap as we call him. They live together in an old house in St. Petersburg that we call Whore Island, because it used to be a place for all the whores to go, and now no more. Now they both got married, and now they have girlfriends that are out there all the time.
Those are the whores, though. The girlfriends are the whores.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't.
It was okay for a little bit.
Yeah. Now the run. By the way, I have something for you, Joe, to bring up on the show tomorrow.
Oh God.
Something that you're not in trouble with me.
Okay.
Remember when we went to Montreal and you guys owed me money and didn't pay me for like 6 months?
No, lies. Not
Galvin?
true.
You eventually paid him back, but it took quite some time, and I don't know.
I paid him.
The full amount was paid back or not is still in question.
All right.
I'm positive Spanish paid me back. I don't think Joe. I don't know.
Michael, that is
I
not
just gave
true.
up.
I always pay my debts. You know this.
Well, okay, then let's bring it up now, and we'll discuss it tomorrow on the
He's
show.
waiting for his mineral rights to come through from the mountain he bought.
Did you or did you not have Tom the Tree Man years ago come cut trees at your house and then not pay him?
No. And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up, Michael, because I will tell you exactly what happened on that story. Okay? I went out to Vegas with some people. And while I was out there, Tom the Tree Man was along with the crew. And he said, hey, I do tree work. You need to? I said, well, yeah, come over and give me an estimate. And I'll be because I need to get some things done. So come on over and give me an estimate. Come over next weekend when we're back in town. So he doesn't come over next weekend to give me an estimate. He wakes me up out of a sound sleep on a Saturday morning. Now, you can ask him if this is true or not. And he says, I finished cutting your trees. I'm like, what did you cut? What the hell?
You had an oak tree that you wanted him to cut, yes or no?
Yeah, he didn't touch the oak trees. He touched my magnolia tree, which I was very upset about because the limbs don't grow back, Michael. And he said, "Don't worry, it'll grow back." I said, "Great, Tom. I'll pay you when the limb grows back, you fuck."
No,
That's the truth.
Tom tells an entirely different story.
Hey, listen, I don't blame Tom for that, and I'm not mad at Tom about that. And if Tom wants me to make it right, I promise you, Michael, I will make it right with him because he did do work on my property. He took a tree down, but I was so mad.
I will give you this. That Tom the Tree Man is one of the nicest guys in the world, but he did come over and do my tree stuff. And then he said that he was going to be back. And then he goes, "I'll be there. I'm going to be there tomorrow to do it." I go, No. I don't need you to come. And he goes, "Yeah, I'll be there." No, like he was forcing himself on raping me.
No, I wasn't mad at him.
Definitely. If you want shit done, all you got to do is plant the seed in his head.
Right.
I said to him, he comes by my house and he'll look around and he'll go, "Hey, your palms need to be done the next month or so." And I'll be like, "Okay." Within 30 days, I just hear him up on Saturday morning cutting trees down. But he's a fucking guy who gets stuff done, Joe.
I know this, Michael. I love Tom. I love Tom, and we've never actually talked it over. But I do not blame him for this misunderstanding at all. I know who the culprit was.
It's your fault.
Let me explain. Let me explain the story. He says that you wanted him to cut the oak tree, and he came over and he was cutting the oak tree down. And then your brother came out and your brother said, "Can you trim that magnolia tree?" or whatever the bushes were. And he was like, "Okay." And then he trimmed it. And then you got mad. And he said to you, "Your brother told me to do it." And you were like, "My brother doesn't own this house and he doesn't live here." And you shook your fist like an old man at him.
Well, that sounds like something I would say. I don't remember exactly, but that does sound like something I would say. That is not the story that I remember. However, I will tell you.
And then he said you owed him $600 and you told him you were going to make payments and you never made one payment.
No, I told him I would make payments when the limb on my fucking magnolia came back, Michael. That's what I told him. But I will tell you right now, I'll make this right with Tom because I love Tom and I don't hold anything against him. And I do feel like he did work and he should be paid for it. So,
but when were you going to wait until the fucking...
When he talked to me about it, because he should apologize for ruining my fucking magnolia.
I got to tell you, you do so many old man things. You first of all, could you go in your backyard, Galvin, and name your trees? I wouldn't know a fucking oak from a magnolia. I could point to one tree I recognize, Christmas tree.
The magnolia has such a delightful smell. It has beautiful blooms that come on it every year. And now there's one limb that's completely missing, and I'm not selling that limb. I'm okay with that. I'm deducting it from the $600.
Isn't Cypress Gardens close to you? Can you just go there and walk around and smell their magnolia?
I've been there, but it's on the property, Michael. I was upset.
Can you bring me through? Just share a little bit of what life is like with the two of you. Galvin's married and he has an older son. I have 2 kids, but you two it seems to me like you just get the fuck off the whole day.
No.
You leave here at 11 o'clock or so, and then you have no responsibility at all till tomorrow. That's how I feel.
I literally have an old human life that I care for 24/7 to make sure he doesn't die, get lost. He's got to update apps and get patches. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He waits till the last minute.
That's probably true.
That's like Galvin, I bet, has to do stuff around his house. He's got meetings to go to. He's got all this stuff. And then I imagine you guys go home and the biggest problem you have is about what you're gonna do, smoke weed or drink whiskey.
Well, yes. I mean, that is always a question. Are we drinking?
I'll give you for instance, this morning I was going to have a bowl of cereal, which I normally don't eat before I leave to come to the show, but I got up early and I was going to have a bowl of cereal, and I normally listen to Rick and Morty on my phone, and I brought it.
Those are two fucking things right there that I don't know anything about. Rick and Morty and eating cereal as a meal.
Cereal is delicious. So I came into the kitchen where the cereal is, and I'm preparing my bowl of cereal, and all of a sudden Joe gets upset, and I was like, "What's wrong with you?" He goes,
"Get upset."
You did get upset. And he's like, this fucking, I don't know what's going on. This fucking show is throwing me off. And he stormed out of the kitchen and went into his room. And I was like, all right.
Listen, Michael,
I went and ate my cereal in my room.
It's 4:30 in the morning, okay? And I got 2 guys on a cell phone yelling at me. I can't follow the conversation. I think it's interesting, but I really don't know. And then they're just yelling the whole morning. I can't get ready like that.
You just described you two.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I need peace and quiet in the morning, Michael. I have to ready myself for the day's events.
Hey, William brought up a good thing. Do you have one of those defibrillators on the wall, like most cars have, in case Joe ever has a grabber?
We need one.
Get it and clear them.
911 is on speed dial at all times. Like I said, sometimes if it's too quiet, I'm afraid I'm going to go into his room and he's just going to be slumped over on the floor, and then I'm going to have to call 911.
Listen, I have a do not resuscitate order, Michael. I have a do not resuscitate order. Just let me go.
For real, let me go. For real, if you find Pap dead, who's your first phone call?
The first phone call I make is to Mike, and I go, "You're never gonna believe this."
No, and you better go live on our show Instagram with it.
For sure. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
I might come back to life in the middle. That would be a great broadcast. You never know.
I would imagine you dying is going to be a lot like that scene in Pulp Fiction where you just all of a sudden you just set up like a vampire. Yeah.
I'm alive. That's probably.
Oh.
Yeah. He's a curmudgeon. You guys don't see the side of him. He's a curmudgeon all the goddamn time.
That's not true.
No, you know what? I don't know. I know Joe since he was young, when his hair was longer, and he used to drive a motorcycle with the Evel Knievel helmet. That's the Joe that I know.
He's
Joe is
not that
still
guy.
listening to and he used to dance and he used to do fun stuff. Now he's just become an old man with an adopted son.
No, that's not true. That's not true. I'm just as fun, Michael. I'm fun to drink with. People like to hang out with me.
And you got a wild west fucking mustache. It's starting to bug me. I can't see your dumb faces with the Comic Wearables banner. Mush, can you take that down if you're listening? I don't know if you're listening. Anyway, we're coming to you live. Bobby had some stuff to do today. We normally do the show on Tuesdays and Fridays, but now that everything's open and everybody's doing shows again, people are working, comics are working, and comics are back in the studio. We got guys over at the Cellar doing their shows. You had Bobby did YKWD from the studio, so everybody's back in action. And today he had something else to do, so I just figured it'd be better if I invited these guys. These are guys that we do the morning show with every morning. This is Galvin, Pap in Spanish, who I know you're gonna find this hard to believe, but out of all of us, Spanish gets the most girls. I'm not saying like just banging them, because most of us are married, but Spanish is the one that's like seems to attract the most girls, which makes us
weird.
The fat muscles.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Well, those are new. Those are COVID fat muscles.
You weren't getting the chicks before, though.
Definitely not. Well, maybe a little.
When you had the hair,
but the quality though has gone up. You know? I'm just saying.
When he had the hair, when Spanish first started working for us, we didn't let him get a haircut for like over a year.
It's 3 years.
His hair was it 3 years?
It was 3 years. Yeah.
Holy shit!
I know, right?
Remember when we wanted him to become fat and he wouldn't do it?
That was the thing. We wanted a summer of fat Spanish, and you wouldn't do it.
That may have been the hardest conversation I've ever had to have, was telling Mike I don't want to be fat, and he just like, yeah, okay, just drove away.
Because that would have been so great if we just kept changing you. Every year you just look different.
Well,
you die of a heart attack in 10 years, but it'd be all right.
Would have gone along with, so you would have had. All right, hold on. You would have gone along with long hair Spanish and then fat Spanish. We may have made you tall Spanish.
Yeah, you never know.
That's right. We don't know what was coming.
I wish I could have been tall.
We did a contest when Biggest Loser came on, where we did Biggest Gainer, where we had guys come in, weighed them, and then we gave them like 48 hours who can gain the most weight. And those bitches got fat. Remember that guy with the Biggest Gainer?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so the reason we have a TV component with the show is because we did so many cool stunts and things in the studio. I say stunts, but they weren't really stunts. But we did a thing one time with the Fat Olympics, where we had a bunch of fat guys coming out and doing Fat Olympic sports.
Yeah,
and one
hot
of the
dogs.
things, we hung hot dogs from a stick, and they had to like bite them with no hands, which doesn't sound that great. But when you get like 5 shirtless fat guys trying to air bite hot dogs, and one of them is a Sam Kinison impersonator, it's pretty funny fucking video. So we did. Joe's been videotaping all that since 2006 when we started.
No, we started in right. What was 2009?
Well, you're
early
right,
2009.
You weren't there. Yeah, Moose was there first. Yeah, but we taped it all, and we had all that stuff. And this was really like before YouTube and all that shit, before everything was big. But we got some good shit, man. We should do something with the footage that we have, the old footage that we have.
I have miles and miles of video, Michael. Like gigs and gigs.
It bothers me when you say that because I feel like all these years you could have done something with it. And you just
I
What are
mean,
you waiting for? To pay Tom
100%.
Freeman for cutting your tree?
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Video?
Wait a minute. Wait, I owe him money. I thought I owed him money.
He's waiting for the magnolia to grow back.
Yeah.
So you help him edit. Fuck.
Well, if you ever wanted, what do they got to do? You got to get all that DVD and make it all digital now. That'll be a project. It'll take years.
No, I have I think I have probably about 7 years of stuff that has all been digitized, and just the earliest stuff is on DVD because I couldn't store it. We were recording it directly onto DVD, so I haven't converted that stuff. But everything else is there.
What are you doing with it? You're just saving
What do you mean?
it?
What am I doing with it? What do you mean?
Where is
It's
it?
here.
His question, I'll explain it to you. He was asking you what he was saying was, what the fuck are you doing with it? Why are you just keeping it? There's YouTube, there's SoundCloud, there's OnlyFans. I mean, we could be putting video up to anything, and instead we're just acknowledging that we have it.
I mean, you want me to start going through it? I have a ton of stuff. What do you want me? Where do you want me to start? You know what it takes a lot of time to manage all this stuff and put it where it's supposed to go.
What do you have besides time?
Well, I mean,
not left.
I don't have much time left, man. I don't have a whole lot of time left. I'll be dead soon. You guys are gonna miss me.
No. Well, as soon as you die, we're hiring a new video guy.
When you die, we're gonna release all the video like Prince's vault.
Yeah.
We're gonna have so much new stuff. People are gonna be blown away.
No, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take all the DVDs that have not been transferred over. There's some great DVDs out there. I mean, they have all kinds of comedians in there that didn't break at the time. I'm gonna sell those DVDs as NFTs. One entire NFT. There you go.
I have a
All
feeling
you.
when Pep dies, we're gonna go to his vault and we're gonna find video. There's gonna be 3 minutes of something in studio, and then the camera facing him trying to figure out how to turn it off.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me that Bobby, although a man of many talents, okay, he is a stand-up comedian. He went to art school, he says. I think he drew Tippy one time in a magazine, and they let him go to art school.
He was a
But
kid.
he fucking has the best video setup ever. His is clear as CNN. Like if you were on CNN, you were like, let's go to comedian Bobby Kelly, and they went to him, you would think that he was in a studio somewhere made for television.
Yes.
Now look at these four boxes.
Yeah, look at our video guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one out of the four is the guy who's in charge of video?
Yeah.
This one?
This guy?
The one that looks like he's on a black and white television through a fucking window.
Calvin, can you move closer to a mic or make yours a little low? You're just a little low.
Yeah, I can move a little bit closer.
Yeah, that's a little better. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Beautiful.
So, Gio hit me up, and I think next Tuesday. Remember Zane Lamprey, the guy who did the drinking show on the Food Channel or whatever channel it was on?
Yeah.
He's been on the show before. Lamprey, I think is his name. Zane. Anyway, he's a good dude, but he's doing I think he's doing comedy now, which basically is just a reason to give people an excuse to tour. Like if you have a popular show and you want to get out there and make money, you're like, all right, I'll do comedy, and you go out there and you tell dumb stories for 10 minutes, and then you just take pictures with people. That's basically what he's probably doing. I don't know that he's necessarily a comedian, but he was a cool guy and he was a good guest. Him and Bert came on the show together one time, and I think he's going to be. What's that?
Didn't he do a monkey rum or something like that?
Yeah.
Like he had his own rum, and then he also had that drinking jacket that he had on Kickstarter. Wasn't that him? And it was like one of the biggest Kickstarter things, and he sold a ton of them.
No, I don't remember.
I remember right. Yeah, I think he called it a drinking jacket because you could like hide bottles in the back. Yeah.
Awesome.
Sounds like something.
Spanish gave me edibles to take with me to Key West. And what were they? Do you know? They were gummies, but I don't even know what the shape was. I couldn't tell.
They're all. It's like a gummy sheet. You get all kinds of cutouts. There's like little robots, a circle.
So, okay,
a
so
heart.
say it was an elephant, okay, or a robot or whatever. He's like, eat them in quarters. So I made like a little quarter size bite and I ate it. And then I hung around the hotel room for a couple of hours and felt nothing. And I was like, okay. And then later on in the night, I didn't feel good, and I went to sleep, which I would think that probably contributed to my early sleep. And then the next day, I was like, I mean, literally 24 hours later, I was like, Bobby, we're at breakfast, and Bobby goes, you should go back to the hotel and take some medicine, take a nap. And I go, I'll be right. He goes, no, you should go now because I'm sick of looking at your miserable face. That's how bad it was. I just couldn't snap out of it. And I think that's what it had to be.
Well, if you don't drink enough water too, it'll linger in your system. You got to flush it out.
I was drinking. I don't know. I just don't like the edibles. I keep trying it like I'm going to like it, and I don't like it.
They're too unpredictable.
What's that?
They're too unpredictable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
there's not really an easy way to measure them yet. You know, like if they say it's 10 milligrams, you're like, oh, what does 10 milligrams mean? I don't know. You fucking take it, and then you're crazy, and you know the next time you get a 5 milligram one, and it's fucking twice as heavy.
The one that we had, the espresso beans were the fucking best because
those were good. Yeah,
you could eat one, and then maybe you could eat two, depending on what you had planned. Don't eat 4 and go to a hockey all-star game. That's the worst thing you can do.
See, I like taking a whole one of the gummies and just seeing what happens.
Oh,
yeah, I would like to do that, but I need to plan a weekend though. Yeah, I know, Melissa, but the problem with me is
good. We got one coming up Friday.
What?
Let's do it. We got a whole weekend coming up Friday. Let's go.
He's got to perform, man.
Yeah.
After that.
Unlike your fucking Magnolia-filled weekends, I actually have shit to do from Thursday through Sunday.
All right. Well,
I tried doing it, going to my family's house. I was like, and Ian Beckles gave me one, and I ate that, and then that erased half my mind. And I was sitting there, and my sister-in-law, every time she glanced at me, I was like, oh, she knows, and she wants to kick me out of her house. And she's like the one who'd care the least, you know. I can't smoke. I've never smoked a cigarette in my life, and every time I've taken a hit off a joint, I cough like a third grader trying to smoke a cigarette. So it's embarrassing to try and smoke.
You vape. They got vape pens now.
But even not smoking.
Two things. One, smoking like a joint just makes me think you're just a dirty person. And then if you vape, I think that you're like half robot. It's just both are annoying.
Anytime I vape now, Galvin, I hear your voice in my head going, oh, what are you, chucking fucking clouds over there? Get out of here.
Fucking on robot farts. That's what you're doing.
You should see them in the morning, Galvin. They just disappear for a couple of seconds. Then they come back just reeking of vape weed.
Yeah. He says he's going to pee outside, but he's really going to smoke pot like a Jew.
No. I'm breaking down boxes and recycling like I'm supposed to be doing.
Here's what I don't understand. Recyclone.
Yes.
So I built the studio in my home, and Pap and Spanish do the show with me from this home studio, the one that I'm in here. And because they come to my house and use the facilities, they had to pick up extra chores. So now they're also garbage men. They have to make sure my garbage goes out, and they do a pretty good job. Well, Joe has named himself Recyclone because he's in charge of the recycling.
And Galvin's named me Trash Face.
Yeah, right, for other reasons.
Professor Garbage Face. Isn't that it?
I was really into Recyclone and the fact that you're doing such a great job. And when I found out today the county now wants to give me a new recycling garbage can because we complained about the other one so much, it made me happy. I feel like Recyclone was getting the vibes out there and getting things done. And then I walked by the door before, and Joe broke down like 10 boxes and just left them outside on the back porch.
Michael, I had to because the can wasn't back out, or the can was still out there. I didn't have any place to put them. Now, as soon as we get there tomorrow morning, all those things go in. I'm preparing. I'm setting it up. I'm staging is what I'm doing. I'm staging the boxes.
All right. I don't know when everybody's going to end up here, Mr. Yacker. I don't know if that's even if it's going to happen, if it's not going to happen. The company that we work for is so weird right now that I don't know. How, I mean, Galvin, with you going over to the studio every day, do you even care?
It's right now at 95%. If I was there with you, it'd be 100%, I think. Just because the little, minute things, whatever, but it's not that big of a deal. And I don't think if we actually ever mentioned it, people would even know that we were in different spots.
Yeah. We don't try to hide it. And obviously with the video component of the show that we used to have, you'd be able to tell anyway, but
Galvin, when guests come in, when you talk, they think it's me. So I move my mouth when you're talking, so they think that your voice is coming out of me. Just letting you know. Yeah, just letting you know.
Sometimes it's funny though because I forget to tell the guest, and they'll be talking. They'll look at me, and then you'll say something. They'll go like this. As if we're above them. They freak out. We had lunch with the guys from Bay City today, and they do the cabinets and the flooring, and I'm positive that they will build Joe. What if we put over here, Galvin, up in the corner? What if we put Joe a perch up there like the old men from the Muppets, and we make him sit in the balcony up there?
Yes.
Behind you?
Huh?
Behind you?
Or no, maybe somewhere, or maybe over there by the back wall, like when you first walk in.
Eye line would be better.
Yeah.
Well.
Galvin,
Always.
question.
Always.
How do you feel about the balcony? Or we build him a cuckoo clock-like door, and he has to bust out of that whenever he wants to say something.
That would be good. Also, possibly a little roller coaster that goes along the wall.
Yes.
Like a train that kind of choo-choos around the top of the.
Yeah.
Yeah, to answer Jax's question, there will be Bone TV again. They're rebuilding it, restructuring it, whatever the fuck they're doing to it.
Yeah.
So it'll eventually be back online.
Yeah, don't rush
it would matter. Look at our fucking video, guys. Fucking screen.
Yeah, exactly. No, my association doesn't. I live in a place that has 4 entrances and 4 different guards, and they don't say anything. They just call like a guest. But I know sometimes, like when Batista rolled up in here to do the show in his Rolls Royce or whatever he was driving, they didn't even have to ask him where he was going or anything. As soon as they looked down, they were like, "Okay, you're good, you're clear." So they're starting to know that when celebrities roll through, that they're most likely coming here. The Rock's dad used to live around the corner from me in here, but he passed away a couple of years ago or last year. But and I think Jericho's dad lives in here too. So I don't know why that matters, but I'm just saying there have been celebrities rolling through here. Olivero swears that he sees Tony Dungy jogging.
Oh, really?
I just think he's racist. I don't know.
Probably.
All old black men look the same. Bobby is I don't know. Hey Mush, are you there? I don't know if you even know what Bobby had to do today, but he did have something where he couldn't go. So I'm fortunate enough to have Galvin and Spanish and Pap join me today. It's 7:35 in 20 minutes. We're gonna tune into the NHL and watch our Tampa Bay Lightning take on the New York Islanders in New York. Hopefully for what is the final game. My prediction is a 3-1 final score. Lightning winning and closing it out. My son went over to the Lightning watch party, which is a great thing that they do for the fans. They allow them, I think they charge them like $10, but they allow them to go out on the patio over outside of the arena, and then they project the game onto the parking garage, which is as clear as watching on any big screen TV. Then they have the concessions and the beer and all that opened up there. It's pretty cool if you want to be around the crowd, but it's just awful because it's fucking 9,000 degrees out at night, and I can't think of anything worse than wearing a hockey jersey outside, sweat my dick off trying to watch a playoff game.
It's pretty good when you can be your BYOB to those kinds of things, though, because you don't have to spend $30 inside for a beer. I mean, I don't know if you can. I have before.
Oh, I mean, maybe you can. I don't know. I'm just not. I've never been a crowd guy, like concerts and all that stuff. Did you know, Galvin? We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. But Jason Sheff, who was in Chicago for a while, he took over when Peter Cetera left. I kind of know him a little bit. Like I hung out with him a couple of times. He started a new band, and we talked about this on the show with Jay from Rascal Flatts and Dean Castronovo from Journey, and a couple other guys who played with Journey in Chicago. And they're doing a band and a tour together, and they're doing Journey songs, Chicago songs, Rascal Flatts songs, and then it's a couple of covers.
You know where they're playing?
Yeah, that's what I was going to see if you knew.
Bootlegger.
Oh, what's Bootlegger? In Vegas?
That Italian restaurant that we went to, whatever. So the owner of Bootlegger used to play in a lot of different rock bands and stuff, and I think he actually plays with them, but they're doing one night there, which there's no way they would do one night there unless somebody they knew owned the place, because it's just a normal, small restaurant.
This is going to blow your mind. Do you know where they're playing this Friday?
Where?
This is what I thought you were going to tell me. This Friday, they're playing in Inglewood at the fucking Tiki Bar that our band played at.
Really? So
yeah. So evidently that place, there's a beautiful hotel. It's an okay hotel, but it's a beautiful outside marina area on the water. and they have tiki huts out there, and like people get married out there and shit. But we played out there, and it was okay. But evidently they redid it, and it's fantastic now. And they're playing, that band is playing out there this Friday night while we're playing in St. Pete Beach.
Oh, you want me to go over there and slash some tires?
No, I don't. I
Get it
okay.
done?
I think they're far enough where they'll be okay.
I don't know, Michael. You need us to pull a caper. We'll pull a caper.
No, I don't need any capers. Okay, actually,
We'll talk about it later. Gotcha.
I'd like to put Jason on the show this week, maybe, and talk to him about putting that band together, because I don't know do you know what the falling out was with Chicago? Like he was in Chicago for so long, and then all of a sudden he wasn't.
No, I don't know.
One of them thought it was 25-4, and the other one thought it was 26-4. So
your old man jokes are not going to fly on.
Jesus, man. Jesus.
That's funny.
That's my dad, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, I didn't see what happened. I know Britney had to go to court today, but do we know what happened with Britney Spears?
Not yet. I think
yeah.
So. We'll find out. I'm sure we'll know about it tomorrow morning when we talk.
Will we get the audio, because she zoomed in? She wasn't in the courtroom.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, I'll
They
definitely.
didn't release it. Yeah, on TMZ so far, they haven't released any audio, but apparently, obviously, she's pissed that she wants to end the conservatorship, but I think we all already knew that.
Yeah, I don't know. The more I watch it, I started like looking at her videos again today. I don't know. I'd feel bad if I was a parent, because if you're a parent, you just want the money. You're like, all right, I'll take 200 million of her money, and that'll be pretty good, or 20 million. And I just think as a parent, I'd probably be like, no, this is my daughter, and she's fucking nuts. And as much as people want to be mad, I still got to protect my daughter.
Or did you make her that way? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think the conflict and everything, like, she was so famous, so fast. Obviously, she did the stuff when she was young, but I mean, like, really think about it. She really blew up when she was like 16 years old and became this worldwide star. That's difficult for anyone to live with. And then if you have a fucked up family, that really adds to it.
Do you think they feel like they made her so that she owes them?
Possibly.
Maybe.
I mean, they say in the documentary that I watched that the dad really was never successful, and his big dream was to have a boat. That was like his big dream. One. And then all of a sudden, his daughter's a multi-millionaire international superstar. He's
so
like,
get a fucking boat.
Yeah.
Get the boat.
Yeah.
But you get the boat, and then you realize your daughter's nuts, and she marries Kevin Federline, has kids, they get divorced, he's taken half of her stuff. Don't you kind of go, all right, well, I can't fucking let this happen now.
I don't know. I was thinking about it. So my son had done some modeling when he was younger, and he didn't really like it, but he probably could have done more. And then I thought, well, if he has to start going, like say they love him, and he's like, okay, he's got to go to Milan next week and Paris after. Well, who the fuck's gonna take him? He's 14 years old. So that means one of us has to quit our job to take him. So
or you trust him to some
guy who's going to try and stick it in his ass after a while.
Exactly.
No. So my wife has to go stay on the road with him and travel and do all that stuff. So now we have to pay her what the salary was in order for us to afford our lifestyle. So say we're paying her $100,000 a year out of his $1 million that he's making, and then taking his money and putting it in some sort of conservatorship or some sort of savings or something for him. And then he's like, well, I want to buy a car. And we're like, all right, well, it's your money. We'll buy him a car. Then all of a sudden he turns 21 and he's like, well, I want all my money. And we're like, well, you don't have all that money. You bought a car. You paid your mother almost $1 million over the last 5 years because she had to take you around. Then we had all the trip expenses and stuff. And then kids start suing their parents because they took all their money, but they didn't. It's either you do what you want to do, or you go to fucking school and be a normal kid like everybody else.
Right, but a lot of times they, have to check the receipts on everything to see what's going on, because you find out that the dad gave money to his brother who's starting a rap label, and this person did this and stuff. And like we were talking about with Britney Spears' dad, has anybody ever got a boat and then didn't want anything more? You know what I mean? Yeah. You get a boat and then you go, oh, well, I need to get some skis. I need some water skis. Oh, I need a good sound system in it.
A plane would be cool.
I need a condo in Las Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, if you start using all the money, and you're a fucking asshole. But
with Britney Spears, they actually had a friend of the family that was like, she said growing up was like her aunt. She actually worked for her and took her, was like her caretaker kind of thing, and then they just completely cut her off, and nobody ever talked to her again. But she was
That's weird.
The head of Britney Spears Inc. You know what I mean? Like she was the one who took care of everything, and then they just said, "Boink, you're done, gone, bye." Yeah.
Sounds like the dad was like, "You're making too much money. I'm gonna take it."
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Know too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Lou, I hate to sound like a fucking novice, but since you're like the team mom on this thing, can you tell me? So I'm seeing in the chat that people are like, "Oh, I got notified by YouTube that we're live, and there's this many people watching and all this stuff." How do you? I'm here and I can't even see any of that. How do you see that shit? I don't know how many people. Does it tell you somewhere how many people are watching? And does it tell you? I'm on the Calta and Kelly YouTube page on my other computer, and it doesn't say shit to me about us being live. I don't know. I don't know how to do
You have
that.
to be. I think you have to be an admin, Michael, for that.
Oh, Joe doesn't know.
The listeners aren't admins, and they're getting all the info. They're the ones saying it.
I don't see any of
you
that.
can see how many are watching on the StreamYard. Oh, okay. And then 114 in the chat. How the fuck do you see that, Fat Jason?
I see it. Over to the right. Click on comments and it'll drop down.
All right, hold on. It's experimenting at its finest.
Okay.
You see it?
Yep.
I see it.
All right, hold on.
I'm on my phone though, so I don't know how it is on your browser.
I'm
Yeah, I
scared
don't
to
see
touch
shit.
anything on my phone. I'm gonna try it. Let's see what happens. Oh God, I disappeared.
I don't see shit. So anyway,
Top left
Oh,
corner.
that was Mush. He had on the private chat. He said he's there, but he can't communicate.
right, I could see that. I can click on that, and I could do this. Oh, that's all right. Whatever. All right. So if Joe Russell is here, you're gonna love this. Okay, Joe Russell. Let me build him up before you bring him in. Joe Russell is by trade, he is a video editor, and he's worked on a lot of movies and television shows, including my favorite show of all time, 90 Day Fiance. Okay. And Joe lives in Brooklyn with his lovely girlfriend, and together they have a show called the Olivia and Joe Cheese Show, where they review cheese every week. And I enjoy it. They're like two young kids eating cheese and drinking wine and reviewing it, and they're adorable. But Joe's also a comedian. And each week, Joe writes a new 5. And it's very similar to what we do with 6 at 9. Now, 6 at 9 is a thing we do where today, Galvin on Wednesday emails us 6 headlines that have happened during the week. And then we write punchline jokes for him. And it is so fucking hard to do. If you listen to Joe try to do his, we do ours, and then we just let ours die. It's just fucking awful. But each week, Joe joins us to do a new 5, and I'm going to bring him on the show now so that he could do the new 5 with you. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Joe Russell.
Joe just popped out. I'm texting him right now to see why he suddenly left.
Oh, fucking build up.
I mean, come on.
He was like, Bobby's
fine.
not there. I'm not doing it.
maybe he forgot. Maybe he forgot to do the jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, sometimes Bobby won't go to him unless everybody starts chanting Joe in the chat room. I'm actually against it. I find Joe.
He had to reset his camera. His camera apparently crapped out.
Now, Joe Pap.
Joe.
Joe Russell is a video guy.
I know. I'm excited to talk to him.
Things from him.
I'm excited to talk to him.
He's 30 years younger than you and 30 light years ahead of you when it comes to technology.
Awesome.
Yay. All right, we'll bring him on, and then we'll let him do the new 5 with Joe, which is as painful as the 6 at 9. However, Joe did have one breakout joke early on in doing this. He said, my roommate dates nothing but Asian girls. And one day I said to him, hey, man, what's up with all the Asian girls? And he said, I'm Chinese. I just think the way he said, I'm Chinese. So Galvin's face is pretty much going to be the way they are for Joe's new 5. Lou, I don't know. See, it's interesting. Lou says 6 and 9 is hysterically painful. I don't, and I know when something's bad and it's funny. Like sometimes like somebody would write a parody song and it's so awful, but you have to play it because it's so awful that it's funny. I don't feel that way about 6 and 9. I just feel like it's awful. but people seem to love it. So
Oh yeah.
we're forced to do it. And they like the fact that we won't save each other with a laugh or anything like that.
See, I always feel like I have a leg up though compared to you guys because I'm so used to saying jokes and nobody laughs that it doesn't bother me as much. When I look at Gio when he does it, he looks like he's devastated.
It is your strength.
Yeah.
Okay, he's back.
Okay, thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here with a brand new 5 is Joe Russell.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Joe.
How's
Ladies
it
and
going?
gentlemen, Joe Russell. Joe, I will introduce everybody to you. Below me is Galvin. Below Galvin is Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
And below Spanish is Pap. Pap is you in the future.
That's right. It doesn't look good for you, Joe.
He's you if you use reel-to-reel and videotape.
What now? Look at Joe Russell's camera, Joe,
Yeah.
and look at how beautiful it looks.
Looks
And
great.
Yeah,
Looks fantastic.
Why
Got
does
nice
yours look like we're
background.
watching on UHF in 1977?
Michael. I'm using the camera that came on this Macintosh computer. That's all I'm using. I didn't upgrade. I didn't even know we were doing this.
By the way, can I point out that's the perfect description of Joe? He calls it a Macintosh.
You got it, Ringo. All right, Joe. New audience online, new audience in the room. 5 brand new jokes. You know, I don't usually like any of them.
Yeah, that's
But,
true.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, here's Joe with a brand new 5.
Last week, my girlfriend and I stayed at a sleazy motel. When I saw the room, I had to call the front desk. I was like, hey, I said we didn't want a heart-shaped jacuzzi. He said, it's not heart-shaped, it's just warped from all the humping along the sides of it.
Okay. Hey, real quick, can you do me a favor, Joe? Lean back a little bit. Now move your. Did Bobby buy you a shirt in Key West?
Oh, yeah, Key West, and it's a chicken
Oh,
It's a cock.
on a bicycle.
It's a rooster. He bought you
nice
gifts.
cock.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, interesting. He didn't buy me any gifts.
And it smells good, too.
What do you mean? It smells like a new shirt,
It
or?
smells like a new shirt.
Oh, all right. All right, next one.
The other night, I cut my hand in the kitchen. I couldn't find the first aid kit, but I did find a taco kit. So I grabbed a tortilla and I made a wrap. I thought my blood was type B negative. Turns out it's type C.
Wow.
Hey, speaking of Mexican food, I love nachos because they're just chips that got invited to a fancy party. And they're like, what am I going to wear? Everybody's seen me in the cheese. Do these beans make my butt look big? I want to look more than just an appetizer. I know, I'll throw on some avocado.
All right, halfway there.
Lately, I've been seeing these ads for an app that lets you play lotto on your phone.
Yeah.
It's actually called, and this isn't a joke, Jackpocket. Because, it's a jackpot that you keep in your front pocket. Isn't that clever?
Mm-hmm.
Much better than its original name, Powerball Scratcher.
I get it.
Okay.
How many are left? This is the last one.
This is like a two-parter, but it's
Okay.
the same joke. Yeah. I dated this hippie vegan girl. She was against wearing wool. I thought, how could you be against giving sheep haircuts? If you're truly for animal rights, then you should support their right to look fabulous. I think she was against it because she didn't shave. Her downstairs region looked like 1960s Vietnam. When I went down on her, I had to follow the Ho Chi Minh Trail. When I got down there, I met 6 guys named Charlie. She didn't have a landing strip. She had an air base in Saigon. In hindsight, I should have never gone down there. I should have fled to Canada.
A deserter. I find that the guys who are stoned on the show appreciate these jokes a lot better.
I enjoy it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the last of the new 5.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Good
Thank
job,
you.
Joe.
Joe, tell everybody about the Cheese Show. What do we got on the Cheese Show this week?
Today we put a new cheese show up on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, search cheese show, it's the first thing that comes up. And we did an episode where it's a cheese that's been made for 1,000 years.
What do you mean?
So it's like a super old recipe.
Oh, but it's not 1,000-year-old cheese.
No, it's not actually 1,000 years.
What is the oldest cheese that you've had? Do you know?
I think a couple years. I think we had a 7-year-old aged cheddar from Canada like a couple months ago.
Like if you went on a tour somewhere in Europe and they had cheese and like, this is 40-year-old Gouda, would you eat it if they?
Olivia would.
She would?
Yeah, she fucking loves cheese.
I gotta tell you, I love cheese too, and it turns me off to think about. But then, like goat cheese, the consistency at first, you're like, oh, and then when you eat it, you're like, this is fucking delicious, but it just feels weird in my face.
Yeah, I think this is a sheep's milk cheese today, the one that's super old.
Oh, all right. Well, listen, Bob. I don't know where Bobby is. I don't know what he's doing.
Was he ever here?
No, he was. We were supposed to do this on Tuesday. And then on Tuesday, he couldn't. He's doing, I think he went in on the bonfire and a bunch of other things. And I said, all right, we'll do it on Wednesday. And then he called me in a panic today and said he couldn't do it. Is somebody driving right now?
What's happening?
Yeah, he's been all over the place from what I've heard too, but he hasn't said exactly what he's been doing.
So maybe he's doing a new podcast. We don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Oh, where's Paul Verzi?
Yeah, right. What are you saying? Was it better when Verzi was on the show? Much?
No, I mean that's who you cheat with.
Oh. All right, well, we'll be back on Friday, and Bob, you'll be back here with me, and we'll be doing the Calta and Kelly. Thank you to all the people who tuned in for the first time. Thank you to Galvin and Spanish and Pap for sitting here and hanging out with me. Of course, Joe Russell for the new 5. Check out Cheese Show on YouTube. Just put in the Cheese Show on Instagram, YouTube, and go there and like and subscribe and follow. And the main reason for that is because the more subscribers and followers you get, the more you get to do that you can share with the audience. And of course, this weekend, I have my Bobby Kelly squiggly face shirt, and I did not bring it to Key West. And when I got there, I was surprised that Bobby was wearing a Mike Calta squiggly face T-shirt, which I didn't even know existed till this weekend. So if you need T-shirts for Calta and Kelly or for Bobby or YKWD, you can find them at comicwearables.com. And I think the Ladybug, just use a code word Ladybug, and they get a discount. And then what does he got for dates? Do you have his dates, Mush?
I don't right this second. I'm sorry.
All right, that's fine. Go to Bobby Kelly's website,
Robert Kelly Live.
RobertKellyLive.com, and you can find it all there. I know he'll be down here in Visani in July, and Port Charlotte. We'll be out there with him, and also he's coming back here, Florida, in September for my birthday week, where we're doing a big show at the Postcard Inn, and he'll be performing at Side Splitters the weekend before. That's it. Tomorrow morning, we are live on the radio. You can listen to us on 102.5 in Tampa and the 102.5 app, or on iHeart, or whatever app is playing that you listen to and steal music for free. Please go and do so. Gentlemen, thank you for hanging out with me tonight, and I will see most of you tomorrow, and I will pray that Joe doesn't write any more jokes until next week.
Love you.